Okay, what we're going to hear is a phone call with this person, Sennett Devermont, MrCheckpoint, that should have been a lot shorter than what it is, and what you would think would go much differently than what it went, given his public persona. So if you don't know who Sennett Devermont is, he is a person who has this website, Always Film the Police, MrCheckpoint. He's an activist who fights to hold police accountable for misconduct in Los Angeles, and very specifically in Beverly Hills. Also, he has been a mayor. He's a candidate for mayor for Los Angeles. Anyway, I recorded the phone call because I had spoken to him previously, and the lawyer that he recommends on his website. And the phone call seemed to go very odd, to say the least. He seemed to be trying to protect the police from accountability and discouraging reported misconduct. My case is somewhat unique and ongoing. So I haven't posted this before, but as I recorded it more for myself to review if I wasn't communicating clearly. But then I saw a comment from another person on the internet, on Instagram, and they seem to have had a similar experience. It's understandable that Sennett can only help so many people, and he can only do so much. But the fact is, he's being deceitful and ultimately helping misconduct go without accountability. In the phone call, you'll hear Sennett communicate that from his understanding of what's happened, there is police misconduct, yet he knows of nothing that can be done, won't even post about it, and knows of no resources or any steps to take. The entire phone call is the opposite of what you'd expect from someone who asks for donations, is running for mayor of Los Angeles, and his status and acclaim comes from stating he is fighting to hold police accountable for misconduct. So here's the phone call. It's about 18 minutes. You can listen to it for yourself.
Hello. How are you doing? What's up, dude? Good. Sorry, I was in the middle of something, but basically my main question for you is I'm kind of in the same position that you were in, and trying to figure out how to get out of it, I guess.
How to what?
How to get out of it.
So, I mean, I kind of broke it down when I said, just give me like the 30-second recap if you can.
Well, it's basically the exact same situation as you, right? So, before I was in a situation in which I didn't have
what situation? When I got arrested for DUI? Or?
Yeah, exactly, when you got arrested for DUI.
Okay. So, did you film it?
No, so let me finish. So I was in the situation as you were previously, and that's when I had spoken to your attorney Rosenberg or whatever, in which I didn't have anything recorded. So I was in that position. So I was basically like you, except without the audio recording that you had. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Got it.
Yeah.
Wait, so is that what you wanted to share, that part?
No. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what's confusing is, like, I guess when you're saying the 30 seconds of it, you're kind of interrupting me in the middle, so I haven't really gotten to the 30 seconds yet. But I'm just trying to get you to even have, like, some kind of understanding of what's up, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Right now we're kind of like, I was in a place previously when I'd spoken to your lawyer back, like, in August or whatever, in which events had happened similar to exactly how you went through, but I didn't have any audio recorded. I basically didn't have anything recorded that way, right?
Right.
So that's where I was. But then in April, where I'm at now is I have everything absolutely recorded. And that's what I ended up DMing you and everything else, and that's where you're even still confused, which confuses me because it isn't a place anymore where there isn't anything recorded. So it's kind of like, well, what's the confusing?
Okay, and you DM me what you recorded since then.
Yes, I basically.
Body cam, is that how you got the footage, or?
Well, I just recorded them. One of the craziest things about it all is that they're like.
So it's another. Wait. But no, see, this is where I'm already confused. So it's another incident. Is that what's happened?
Well, I guess what confuses me at this point is what would matter, right? So there's still a incident, right? So, like, there are multiple incidents. That is, to answer your question, there are definitely multiple incidents. But It's kind of like what I'm not understanding is that part, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, there are multiple incidents. So let's move on. So what else confuses you?
No, I think that clears up. There's multiple instances. What do you? Okay, I guess just to put things into like reference, like I get endless DMs, and you wrote a lot of stuff, so I didn't read word for word every single thing. And if I say, can you recap or whatever, most people who reach out, like, I can't help, right? There's nothing. You know what I'm saying? The reason I tell people to film the police isn't because. It's really because most people reach out to me and say, hey, that happened to me, right? And I go, fuck, that's terrible. And they go, I don't have footage. The first thing I say is, did you film it or do you have footage? No, okay. Shit, well, I guess, I'm just a citizen, right? And when this kind of shit's happened to me, as a citizen that's had the footage, I've hired a lawyer. I've reached out to a lawyer and say, hey, this is the footage I got. Or I say, hey, this has happened to me and I didn't get footage. What I've realized is when I say, hey, this is what happened to me and I don't have footage, they don't talk to me, right? I can call a lawyer, they're not going to call me back. Okay. But if I call a lawyer and I say, hey, this is what happened to me and here's the footage, that's the only way I've personally, as just a citizen, right?
Can you hear me, though? Can you hear me? Yeah. So where I'm at right now is, because that's where I'm kind of like, it feels as if and I understand that I am trying to, like, express a lot of things at once, but I did say to you, I've already spoken to your lawyer, right? So exactly what you're saying is exactly the reason I'm reaching out to you, right? When you said, all right, I don't have footage, I don't even have lawyers speaking to me. I understand that, because that's what was happening to me as well. However, what happened in reverse of that, or the opposite of that, is when I spoke to your lawyer, or the lawyer that you recommend, not to make it clear, because it's not your lawyer, it's just a lawyer that advertises on your page. But when I spoke to that person actually spoke to me for an hour and a half. And it's, I would like to get into the details of it, but that's kind of where, right now, it's confusing because you're not even understanding and haven't been able to, and it may be my fault, but you're not even understanding how odd even just that alone is a reason to have a discussion. But that's just one discussion. The more urgent discussion that I for me right now, the biggest deal that I have going on right now is I'm under investigation for a hate crime in which I have the person who apparently reported me recorded, knowing that they're falsely reported me. Then I have the police recorded as well, the entire kind of investigation happening as well, and then subsequently they haven't responded at all to any of my kind of like follow-ups on it. And all of it, the police that have an open investigation, to kind of keep it more specific. Like I said, there's multiple things that we'll talk about, but to keep it more specific with the police.
And I only have so much time, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, there's two things involved with it as far as right now, to kind of summarize it. Obviously, very, very urgent. I need help kind of dealing with the police that are not, doing anything. And there's a lot of fucking things going on specifically with the police thing. Then when it comes down to the lawyer and then you, what it comes down to is, I'm seeing you're posting about maybe running for mayor and all these kind of things. And realistically, right now, if I'm going to break it down, there's homeless issues going on, there's mental health issues going on, and there are police issues going on. They're all extremely active. They're all can be solved simply by either reposting or even just having some kind of deal with you. Like, I could pay you for your time, but I do need to have some kind of help in understanding
No, I'm not asking anyone to pay me.
Cool, but then understand that, like, it is urgent for me to have some kind of understanding as to, like, wait a second, like, I'm seeing people reacting to things that are not, like, I actually ended up, to kind of summarize that real quick, I ended up offline interacting with somebody from your account as well that had posted something and got like 40K views and all these things, and I ended up DMing back and forth with him, and I'm like, look, dude, like, realistically, I went through that in high school. I don't know why you think that's a violation. It's kind of odd that all these people like were behind you and being like, yeah, the police were really wrong on that, when that's one of those things that I actually know they weren't on, and the guy actually agreed with me on, right? So the point of not being just being like, all right, like, I'm seeing people totally, getting behind and being very passionate about things that are not really violations by the police, and right now I have a situation in which I have multiple violations by the police, and somehow or another is not being clear to anyone. And then for me, specifically with your situation, right now I'm literally exactly in your situation as far as like the legal terms, except that I actually have the recording as well. So it's like,
okay, all right. So can I respond?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I will say this before you do. This is one of those things that's kind of like just bugging me out. Like, if you realize I had kind of stopped talking as soon as you said okay, I stopped talking. So it's like I'm not letting you talk, and yet you seem to be perceiving that. And that is one of those things too that I'm like, is that a New York thing? Like, what is happening?
Bro, all it is, let me tell you what it is. I only have I'm about to step into another meeting. You feel me? And I want to respect what you're saying, and I also am assuming you want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
That's why you've been so diligent about reaching out to me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to be mindful that there's both going back and forth, right? Because I feel like if I don't interject, I'll have to just say, hey, bud, I gotta, I'm stepping in. I'll have to call you back.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just want to know why you felt that way, but it doesn't matter realistically. More like you said, I want to hear what you want to say. So let's move on.
Okay. It sounds like. Do you have a court date coming up? Do you have court coming up? A date?
No, dude. Like, that's one of the situations right now. So no, right. One of the situations right now is, again, I'm under an investigation that they opened falsely, and then after that kind of ghosted me. So there is no court dates or anything like that, specifically because they're avoiding all that. If they had all that, then it would be kind of a different situation. Right now, what I basically have is...
Wait. May I? So you do not have a court date. They are just investigating you and harassing you one way or another.
Exactly.
Hello?
Yeah.
That's correct?
Yes. That's why I need help. That's actually, I mean, that's the whole reason.
Yeah. Well?
Yeah, I was just saying that's the whole reason I need help.
Okay. What would you expect me to do, or what are you thinking I can do for you?
Well, like I said, there's multiple things right now. Like, whether it be, like, if you wanted to stick just with the homeless thing, like, there's a really big concern where outside of me...
Wait. Regarding homeless, what do you mean when you're talking about homeless?
Well, you didn't let me finish, dude. I was just starting to say that to you. Outside of, like, necessarily directly me, I ended up in a situation where there's this homeless guy, and, like, I've seen him for, like, a year, and there's this other guy that seems shady, is the best way I can put it to you. The other day, I ended up kind of actually going up to him before, and he's just been like, oh, I just kind of come around here, and I've been like, that's not really cool, dude. And I was like, because I actually know some mental health services in the city, and I was like, you should really call these people, right? And then the other day, I saw him, and I don't know if he just didn't remember me or what, but when I went up to him, it's basically like he repeated everything I said to him before that he should do. Like, he was like, oh, I actually, I work for the city, and they know I'm doing this and everything else. And I'm like, dude, like, it's just like it feels to me like you're taking advantage of this guy, right? The main issue with that is that those services, the services that are available in the city for mobile health crises, I have had interactions with them, and they also have kind of ghosted me, which makes it this weird situation in which not just me, but anybody can't really verify who their employees are, because unless they actually, they do the same thing that's actually happening with the police. They'll kind of open up an investigation, but don't log the patient, and so they basically have these interactions with homeless people, similarly to this guy. And the thing is, like I said, the main thing is I don't know if this guy is actually working for the city or not. But anyway, they have these interactions with homeless people, but they don't document them in any particular way. So there's no way for anyone, whether it's a homeless person or not, to know who they're interacting with. So that's a totally separate thing, but it's also a really real important thing that I would like to get addressed. But it is, that's separate for me.
I appreciate you sharing that. Wait, you're in New York, yeah?
No, I'm in San Francisco, man. That's the whole thing. Like, this is.
I hear you, bro. I mean, look, I have a 4 o'clock, so I was trying to just kind of go jam back and forth with you. And I just wanted
the thing
to
about it
I
is,
know you've been messaging a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to just be frank. I don't know if I can help you. I don't know how to help you. I don't help.
Well, I mean, are you not listening? Like, the way you could help is letting me know what is missing. Because again, the thing is,
what's missing? I don't know if there's a video that I have.
There are. I mean, there's multiple. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I DM'd them to you. I can do it again. I guess
I just checked our DMs and I didn't see any video. I see one. As we've been talking, I've been looking at our DMs. Okay? I even went through while we've been talking. I'm even going right now.
Yeah, let me do
Go to our messages, and you've sent me one Instagram. Well, you sent me one Now This article, and talking about the lawyer recommended you had a horrible experience.
I think you're confusing the Now This. Oh shit,
so
maybe I didn't.
Your article Now This.
Oh, there's the summary of April 30th. So the April 30th, there's a thing in between where it says summary of April 30th incident. That's the hate crime incident fully when they basically showed up my house. So that's that entire interaction fully videoed. But then from there.
But it's not a video. This is just if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's the Instagram live post. Because I lived it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have that in our video, in our DM.
Yeah, it's right there. It's in between. You'll see where it says, it's concerning you are not clear on what happened. And then I put, here's a summary of April 30th incident. And there's a link to the Instagram live video. But also, if you go to my Instagram live, you'll see plenty of interactions with the police. There's a lot of them recorded. But the point being is, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand. For me, it's extremely urgent. I get that you have other things going on. But the urgency doesn't go away from me.
The urgency is for me to repost one of the videos? Or?
Well, no. The urgency is for us to be able to kind of have an understanding of what's going on. And if that can happen under one phone call, then we can just kind of schedule times. And like I said, cool that you don't want money, but then all I need from you is to be able to actually, over time, like, look at that incident and say, hey, I saw that entire incident. This is my takeaway from that incident, just from that incident. I can fill in the blanks, but the big issue is that I don't know what the blanks are.
Whatever the one video that I'm supposed to watch and understand that the mishap has occurred, can you just send me that in the DM?
I'll repeat what I said.
Okay.
That's what I'll copy and paste it, but which is what I just did right now. But that's what I'm saying. Like that particular incident is a huge deal. So for me,
I don't mean to minimize, and my lack of time to look at everything doesn't mean that whatever I'm not looking at or able to look at is more important or less important. It's just I'm getting hundreds of DMs.
I'm not saying any of that. You're kind of talking in circles. You're talking in circles, dude. I'm not saying that. I'm saying again just because I know you have to go. So I'm saying, look, dude, that particular thing, if you can look at it, and then just give me a call back or DM me back when you can, hopefully in the next couple of days, and we can kind of start understanding what is it that you don't understand, so that we can kind of move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Alrighty, bro.
All right.
All right. Be well.
Thanks. Bye.
So the whole thing with that is he didn't call or he didn't review it. So who knows what's up with that? That was months ago. But like I said, it's a pattern with him that it seems as if he's repeated with other people. That phone call, when I re-listen to it, it almost makes no sense. Like I just can't even. I guess when especially when he asked, was like, what would you like me to do for you? That always triggers me in a scammy kind of way, because that's what scam artists usually do. They usually try to do the whole like, oh, I don't know what I can do, but you tell me what you want me to do. And that way, they kind of escape any accountability. It's like, dude, you're the person who always films the police. You're the person who has lawyers and appears on TV, speaking about these things. It feels very odd for you to be asking anyone, what they want you to do, versus you being able to say, hey, this is what I understand from the situation. This is what I'm able to do. So, yeah, anyway, that's Sennett Devermont, of Mr. Checkpoint's Always Film the Police fame.